Welcome to APA Online Week 2. Hope you guys had a great first week. You made it. So, what were some of your challenges this week? What were some of your drawbacks? Kind of take a look at how the week went for you. Let's do a little review and take a look at our timing from last week. So, again, lunch between 12 and 1. You should have been fasting all before then, just with about 32 ounces of water to act as a cleanse. Remember that? Black coffee or tea were your three beverages. No sugar substitutes. Snack time between 3 and 4. How many of you were still full from lunchtime and almost had to force yourself to have a little snack? Dinner between 6 and 7. Did you guys have plans over the weekend and found this a little challenging to eat a little earlier? Just do your best to have it as close to 7 as possible. Let's take a look at this food plate again. Vegetables being the largest portion on this plate, followed by a healthy protein, and then some carbs. Again, we talked about fats, as you're probably getting some healthy fats in some way, shape, or form, whether it's through nuts, avocados, some olive oil, things of that nature. Before we go on, I want to play a little game with you guys. Which is healthier for you, kale or cucumber? Some people will say cucumber because they see it on to reduce swelling on eyes all the time. That's actually a misnomer. Usually it's just something cold. So in this particular case, kale is going to be a lot more beneficial than cucumber. Kale has a lot more nutrients and benefits to it. Apple juice or an apple? This is kind of an easy one. That apple juice has about 56 grams of sugar, whereas the apple has about 13, 14 grams of sugar. Plus, it contains a lot of fiber, which is needed. Peanut butter or jelly? Peanut butter is going to be the healthier one for you. It contains a lot more protein and a lot less sugar. If I were to take the sugar contents of that jar of jelly or preserves, it would take up the entire jar. So it's basically 100% sugar. Peanut butter, on the other hand, has about, 4 to 6 grams of sugar. Cereal or oatmeal? Oatmeal is going to be a lot more beneficial to you. Oatmeal is one of those things that has everything and anything that you need. And maybe a little tougher one. Hamburger or hot dog? Believe it or not, the hamburger is going to be a little better for you. The circle of life. Okay, so this is basically a self-evaluation. Hopefully you've printed this out, and what we're going to do is we're going to go around the wheel here, and you're going to rate yourself as how you are currently. So let's start at spirituality. I'll give you some demonstration. I feel that I'm about an 8 in spirituality. So I would mark a dot on that line there, closest to the top or the outer area of the circle. So it would be just probably about a fingertip away from the outer area. Then going on to creativity, I feel like I'm about a 9. So I would move it even further to the edge. Finances, career, so on and so forth. So you're going to go around and complete this. Once you've put a dot in every section, you're going to go back and connect the dots. This will give you a great visual of things that need improvement and things you're doing very well at. Goals or intentions? I'm really not a fan of the word goals. I think it's close to like a New Year's resolution. It's one of those things that you maybe set forth or talk about and then after a couple of weeks totally forget about it. I like the word intentions. We're setting an intention in place to get some things accomplished. So I gave you a sheet to print out. It's going to have 1 month, 3 month, and 6 month guidelines on there. What I'd like for you to do, you don't have to do it at this moment, but maybe after this program, sit down, take a moment, and fill out each of those sections. 3 1 month, 3 3 month, and 3 6 month intentions. Once you have those down, what I'd like for you to do is go back and put a little more detail for those. So let's say it's lose 4 pounds in my first month, for example. What are you going to do to get that accomplished? So one thing you could do is say, I got this online program. I'm doing the APA. When it comes to these intentions, There's no rules. You can do whatever your heart desires. Anything and everything. You can put a weight loss goal, you can put a pant size goal, dress size goal, completely up to you. Now let's move on to consuming out of emotion or eating out of emotion. We all do it. We've all sat there, maybe in a funk or a little depressed, and ate half a pint of ice cream. During this program, we're going to kind of try and get our emotions in check. Figure out why we're eating and trying to create some good habits in replace of some bad habits. Which leads us into mindful eating. I can't stress enough how important this is. A lot of you might have had some mindful eating experiences throughout this past week. Maybe you've slowed things down. Here's some things to look for when it comes to mindful eating. Sight, obviously what's going on around you. Smell, physiological reactions. Touch, motion and movement. Taste, obviously very important. Texture, swallow. This has to do with once you swallow your food, there's kind of a reaction that takes place. Breath and silence. Were you eating in silence at some point? Were you eating in total chaos at other points? Eating for your blood type. So this is a study head up by a man named Dr. D'Amo. You might have seen his books or read his books. We think it's important here. It's not the holy grail to dieting or eating well, but I think, it's something to take a look at. I'm type O, but you can print out the different blood types according to your blood type, whether it's B, A, or AB. I'm O positive, so we're going to take a look at this. The top right here, you'll notice some of your ancestry. So American Indian, Hispanic, African American, and so forth. So this is just giving you the majority of type O blood type. On the left side here, this is more of your characteristics. So strong, hunter, leader, self-reliant, and goal-oriented. Down below that are some of your strengths. Now, I have a little challenge with the strengths and weaknesses. Some of it's a little contradictory, but we're going to go through it and you can pick this out. So as far as strengths, hearty digestive tract, strong immune system, natural defenses against infections, efficient metabolism, shorter small intestine, and lower risk of cancer. So these are all great. But then it comes to our weaknesses. Low tolerance for new diets and new environments. A little contradictory. Immune system can be overactive and attack itself. But before it said I had a strong immune system. So again, take this all with a grain of salt. Some of these other things are a little more important to me. Health risks. Low thyroid, inflammation, arthritis, blood clotting, and ulcers. Diet profile. Red meat, strong enzymes to digest meat, high protein vegetables, and fruit. For weight loss, reduce wheat, corn, baked goods, kidney beans, lentils, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and mustard. Now, the only thing I have to say about this is typically, to reduce wheat and corn, not a bad thing anyways. To reduce baked goods, probably a good idea. So you're doing these things anyways, not necessarily for weight loss, but just for better health. Increase kelp, seafood, salt, liver, red meat, kale, broccoli, and pineapple. So again, it's one of those things. I wouldn't ever recommend eating more red meat. Once a week is probably a good amount. Studies have shown that the societies that eat less meat tend to live a lot longer. Supplements. A, K, calcium, iodine, licorice, and so forth. So again, these are some of the things that our blood types might be a little low on. It's nothing that I would say go out into the store and get right away. Now, one of the most important sections on here for me is exercise. These are the exercises that you'll be instilling come week 5, even week 6. For the most part, I don't want you doing exercise in the beginning part of our program. I want you single point focus on food and health and nutrition. But let's take a look at exercise. Intense physical exercises such as running, aerobics, contact sports, martial arts, and power yoga. Other blood types will have almost the exact opposite, and things like Tai Chi, walking, hiking, things of that nature. Okay, so homework for the week. This is an easy one, but a tough one to remember. You might want to put a little reminder on your phone for this one. Put down the fork. So what you're going to do is you're going to put something in your mouth and then put the fork back on the table. Try not to pick the fork back up until everything in your mouth is finished and swallowed. This is going to slow things down a bit. You could do this for either lunch or dinner, but I wouldn't do it for both. Pick a time that works best. If it's lunchtime where you're eating alone, maybe a little less chaotic, then that's a good time for you. Maybe it's dinner time with the family and they can hold you accountable, then choose then. But don't do it for both, one time or the other. I hope you guys have a great week, and again, if you have any questions or concerns, visit our closed Facebook group, or you can always contact us at info@adampotash.com, and I'll see you soon.